For those of you who do not know me and have never seen me, my name is Matt Reardon. I'm with Career Services. I'm an advisor. My main areas of expertise are the fine arts creative world and the education world. This is by no means going to be purely for the creative people in the world. I think that the creative world has a lot to offer to every other realm of the world, so that's what I try and translate to. Just to give you a little background, I'm a theater person by nature. So, two very important things. Number one, I'm pretty outspoken. Number two, I'm just generally strange. So, as long as we can embrace that, give it a nice big hug, we'll be okay. So, today, talking about career portfolios. Now, portfolios have been around for forever. How many of you are in the creative fields? Your fashion merchandising, advertising, fine arts? About 40, maybe 50% of the crowd. Okay, so portfolios for the creative people are pretty much second nature, because as a creative individual, you're based on your product. You're based on your painting, you're based on your design. So really selling your skills is not so much about selling you as it is selling your product. And when we talk about portfolios in the last couple of years, this has started to translate to basically every other sector, because people have started to cross disciplines. They've started to realize that as we go along, we all pick up items. We might pick up awards, we might pick up projects, we pick up all of these different things that we can't really include anywhere else. It's really hard to put a month-long project onto a resume when it's creative, multidisciplinary, and really do it justice. So that's where your portfolio comes in. It's an addendum. It's an appendix. It's something that basically everyone can use as long as you have guidelines, you have a little bit of vision, and you have an idea of what you want it to do for you. The simplest way I can think to describe a portfolio is actually something I came up with yesterday as I was walking to my car talking to a student. And we were talking about this workshop. She's like, so what are you going to talk about? And I said, portfolios. She said, well, what's that? I said, well, try and think of it like your visual representation of your story. It's basically your career path, your career story, from a visual, tangible aspect, not a how do you describe it. Because these items, for the most part, describe themselves. That's the point. That's why they're so hard to put in any other vein, because they have to stand by themselves. Everybody's career has a million and one different paths. I started in secondary education. I went from teaching English and creative writing to the theater world. I went from the theater world to arts administration to being a professor / technician at a university. Now I'm in career services. I can't leave any of that out when I talk about who I am as a professional, because all of those little steps, all of those little avenues created who I am. And I don't want to forget who I am. I don't want to forget what makes me different, what gives me a different perspective. I want to use it. So every career has different paths, and all of them are related, and all of them are important. That's what your portfolio lets you do. When we start creating a portfolio, I heard one lady in the back earlier saying, somebody asked me for my portfolio at a career event, and I have no idea how to make one. Congratulations. 75% of the people in this room are in the exact same boat as you. And that's okay, because it is different. It is a different way of looking at who you are, what you are, and how you sell what you have. So, let's take all the rules about resumes, take all the rules about cover letters, most of the rules about interviewing, shove them under the rug and forget about them for about the next 45 minutes. Your portfolio needs to start from a very simple idea. This is my personal mantra when it comes to portfolios. The organization and the order makes your life simple. If you can keep your information under control, if you can keep it well organized, your portfolio can work for you. When your information starts to get away from you and things become disorganized, you're not sure what your direction is, that's when things become really difficult. If you find yourself stuck, and it's not a technical issue, it's not a how do I do such and such code, how do I work such and such a website. If you get stuck in the function of your portfolio, stop, take a step back and ask yourself, how has my organization broke down? Because 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. Something in the course of you creating your portfolio got off track. You hit the sidebar on the road, and now you're rebounding. So if you ever get stuck, take a deep breath, step back, and look at, what is my image? Where do I want my image to take me? How can I get there?